Oh, so I saw your reaction when I said that you're looking at 20 years in prison.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, you're in yellow because you're pregnant. This whole thing, the reaction you gave me, you should have been thinking about that before you violated conditions of probation. You understand that you will be having your child in a criminal institution. And you know what would end up happening? Child Protective Services would come to whatever location. If it's at the prison, they'll come to the prison. If it's at the jail, they'll come to the jail. And you know what they will do? They will be waiting for you to deliver your child.
CR 011865, State of Texas versus Jaylen Brienne Cruz Santor.
Jaylen Brienne Cruz Santor.
Jaylen.
Jaylen.
All right, Jaylen Santor. Do you understand? You're charged with possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 4 to 200 grams. That's a second-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand? Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? According to the plea, there's a $2,000 fine. State recommends deferred adjudication. They're taking in consideration 2024 PF 13382. Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense is at the plea?
Yes.
Outside the agreement, the state is recommending that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 5 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 125 hours of community service restitution, no contact with 1129 Austin Highway, 78209. There should be a mental health evaluation and MRT. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes.
Then to the offenses charge, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? Sentencing?
Yes, Judge, we'll wait PSI.
All right, anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, the only thing I would ask is the court considered probating the fine. She's been in custody since August, so she'll be getting back on her feet when she gets out of custody. She does have a plan. She'll be going to Haven Judge, but the court could give her that consideration. I think it would help her be successful.
Right away you can tell this hearing is about much more than drug charges. Instead of rushing to sentencing, the judge starts digging into the defendant's personal life, family, housing, and support system that's often a sign the court is trying to figure out whether.
Right.
This
How
is
old
where
are
the
you?
case shifts from punishment to problem-solving. Homelessness, unemployment, and
Do you have
daily
any
drug
children?
use paint a picture that's unfortunately common in addiction
Do you
cases.
have any
Courts
family
can offer
support?
second chances, but they can't force someone to
Where
change
is
what
your
you think
family?
matters more: strict punishment or giving someone the tools to rebuild their
Some of
life.
them
Let me know
stay in the
below.
area, some of them move, but I don't really talk to them as much anymore.
Why not? And I'm asking these questions so I can discover what's going on with you because I have to set conditions for you. And I want to set conditions for you where you will be successful.
Well, actually, I choose not to speak on those.
Okay. So my other question is, why were you at this hotel?
It was somewhere I was residing at first before like all complaints or whatever, but it was somewhere I was residing until I moved in to this new house I was supposed to be moving in with my sister. But I don't know if they moved in or not yet though.
So you have contact with your sister?
Yeah.
And does your sister have any children?
Not that I know of.
So are your parents still alive?
Not really one.
So, Judge, I can enlighten the court.
Yes.
Dad lives here.
Mhm.
Dad was military.
Okay.
And they moved down from Temple about 2 years ago, but she doesn't really want to burden her family with her personal problems. She was the motel itself is more of like a long-term residence place, so she was staying with a guy that was there, correct? Staying at that hotel.
With a guy?
With
Were you staying at that hotel by yourself or with someone?
No, I was with two people. I was my uncle.
There were a couple of people in that room. The staff, from what I gathered, Judge, from the evidence, the staff was familiar with her and the family and these people that were living there. They were the ones that called the cops, Judge.
All right. So you were staying with two uncles?
Mhm.
Are those your biological uncles?
I was
Or
adopted,
just, okay.
so no, just like
So are they your adopted uncles or no?
I'd say
Well, I mean, either they are or they're not.
they are.
Okay, so you were adopted,
Mhm.
and the two uncles you were staying with in the hotel are your uncles through that adoption?
Yes.
I don't know the answer to that one.
So do you think maybe this is an Esperanza issue?
Listen closely to what just happened. The
Because I'm
judge isn't
concerned
simply
with the two
handing down
uncles.
probation, she's creating a
Judge,
roadmap.
what I
Employment
do know
requirements,
is that
treatment
we talked a little
education,
bit
and
about
community
decision
service
making,
all have one goal: keeping
sometimes
this
going back to
defendant from
places
returning to
where
court-deferred
using
adjudication isn't a
drugs
free pass. One
triggers
serious mistake,
that,
and
being
those
around
prison
people
years
that
become
can
very
trigger
real.
that. I didn't gather that there was any sort of trafficking situation going on, Judge. I do know that she's to have no contact with this area as a condition of the probation if the judge should choose to follow our bargain.
When's the last time you were employed?
2 years ago,
Doing what?
I was a waitress.
And how long have you been homeless?
Um, just recently because I was staying with those two, and then like as soon as I came here, I decided just to go to work.
Have you ever had any mental health diagnosis or anything of that nature? Ever been to see a psychiatrist or anything of that nature? And how often were you using, and we'll just say in the past,
Every day.
and what were you using? Okay. And when you were in the hotel, was that part of what maybe caused all of this, the drug use?
No,
Okay.
not at all.
All right. And how far did you go in school?
I graduated.
Right. So what is your dream job?
I don't really have one.
I mean, if you have to work, if you're not independently wealthy, where would you like to work?
In all honesty, anywhere.
All right. So here's the thing. While you're on probation, I want you to think about what your dream job is. Because unless we're independently wealthy, we're going to have to work unless we find somebody who chooses to support us not working. And people always say, if you can earn money at your job and enjoy it, that's a great life to have. So I'm going to want you to discover what's a job you would enjoy that you can earn a living at. You understand? All right. Court will sentence you to a $2,000 fine. That will be probated. 40 years deferred adjudication. Proof of employment within 90 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. No unsupervised contact with minors. There's to be no contact. $8,209. The roadway in, regular reporting by Zoom or in person. The UA hotline. I'm going to want the following done in custody: a referral to Esperanza Court. And if we could do that in this order: referral to Esperanza Court, and then Felony Drug Court. And if we could do a MIC evaluation. And is there some place that could help her with housing? Because I'm concerned about whoever these two uncles are. Would it just be Haven?
For now.
All right, Haven for Hope. And there'll be 200 hours of community service restitution. I'll waive the 200 hours if she obtains some sort of trade school certificate, or if she attains some higher level of education. Field visits one time per month until further notice. All right, we can go off the record. In this court, to be successful, make sure that you stay in contact with probation. If you feel like you can't reach them or something else is coming up, you can always come back to court. Your attorney wants you to be successful. The state wants you to be successful. I want you to be successful. Okay? All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Are you all ready to proceed?
We are, Judge. We have an agreed recommendation for the court.
All right, the court is calling 2024 CR 011865. How do you pronounce your first name?
Jaylen.
Jaylen.
Jaylen Lynn. Yes, we were going over that.
Can I have parties announced?
For the state?
Raymond Bell for the defense.
And are you Ms. Sotomayor?
Yes, sir.
Did you review the document entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it? Are you the same Jaylen or Jaylen
Jaylen.
Jaylen Lynn.
Sotomayor, who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2024 CR 011865 for the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1B,
Yes, ma'am.
4,200 grams on January 13th, 2025 for a term of 4 years. Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
Violating condition number 2, on or about the 17th day of April 2026 in Bexar County, Texas, defendant Jaylen Brienne Cruz Santor did then and there fail to submit to drug testing as directed by the court officer, supervision officer, and or a duly authorized agent of the court in violation of condition number 2.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
Sure. Violated condition number 2, on or about the 2nd day of December 2025 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Jaylen Brienne Cruz Santor did then and there fail to submit to drug testing as directed by the court officer, supervision officer, and or a duly authorized agent of the court in violation of condition number 2.
How do you plead to that?
State will waive the remainder.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violations 2 and 2, the court declined it, true grant? Did you understand that? Knowing that, do you still want to plead true to violations 2 and 2?
Yes.
Court will find 2 and 2 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
Yes, Judge, the proposed agreement is to deny state's motion, continue, alter, and amend for felony drug court participation in screening.
That's correct, Judge. My understanding is that if the court approves that, they'll do the screening while she's still in custody.
So I saw your reaction when I said that you're looking at 20 years in prison.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. You're in yellow because you're pregnant. This whole thing, the reaction you gave me, you should have been thinking about that before you violated conditions of probation. You understand? And I'm sure your attorney will tell you, but I'm going to tell you this. If you get revoked and if you're sent to prison for minimum will be 2 years, right? That would mean that you would be having your child in a criminal institution. And you know what would end up happening? Child Protective Services would come to whatever location. If it's at the prison, they'll come to the prison. If it's at the jail, they'll come to the jail. And you know what they will do? They will be waiting for you to deliver your child and they will take your child. And then a legal case will start. And in that legal case, they will want to terminate your parental rights. And your attorney will tell you, anytime there's a newborn baby, guess what? You have people lining up because they want to accept the newborn baby because they figure not too much damage has been done because the baby is a newborn. And they will come, they will adopt that baby. And because you're in custody, they will do what's called a fast track to terminate your parental rights. Mm-hmm. And the only thing that it will be, either you're going to sign your paperwork to relinquish your rights, or either they're going to go to court on a fast track and terminate your parental rights. And then if the person who adopts your child is not somebody you know, you will never know who your child is with. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So if you don't make changes, that's what's going to end up happening. Okay?
Mm.
So Court is finding 2 and 2 true. The court is going to alter and amend conditions to the following. You're going to remain in custody. And in custody, there's going to be a referral to Felony Drug Court. You need to be honest with them about your use. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And Ms. Abrams, do we need an updated TAP? I don't know if a TAP evaluation was ever done for her.
Yes.
All right, so they're going to do an updated TAP evaluation. All of this is going to take place in custody. Now, if something happens at the Bexar County Jail where they release you by mistake, which has happened before, let me just tell you right now, since today is Thursday, that would mean that they will release you by mistake by midnight. If that happens, you had better be in this court first thing Friday morning and say, hey, judge, they released me by mistake so that we can correct that mistake. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Sure.
What time, like if they did, like what time would be?
Oh, we're not going to be here at midnight, but you show up I tell you what, you're waiting outside at 8:30. Hey, judge, do not get sidetracked. Do not go anywhere else. Because if you're using drugs, whatever you're drinking, eating, using, it's just like your child is doing it too.
Right.
And that's something else your attorney can tell you. He and I both have worked on CPS cases. We represented children. And when you have children who are born addicted to drugs, guess what? They go through withdrawals. The only thing is they don't understand why they're in pain. And when you go to the hospital to visit your client, the client is just crying incessantly and they're trembling and the doctors are trying to give them something to take their edge off. And it's impacting their brain and their development. Okay. All right. If you need something, you need to let us know because we can't help you if you don't reach out. Okay.
Well, so far, I did enlist for parenting classes.
Mhm.
I've been going to
Speak to me,
church. Other than that, like you already answered the question that I would remain in jail. So
Mm-hmm.
until being screened or so. I was gonna ask, what if they say I don't qualify for
Oh, no, let me just tell you, Felony Drug Court will accept you. They will say you qualify. The only way they're going to do that is if you're dishonest with them and say, oh, I don't have a problem.
okay.
Then I'm going to get a report and you know what it's going to say? It's going to say, she told us she didn't have a problem.
Okay.
And then you and I are going to have a conversation because I know you have a problem based upon the motion to revoke.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
That's right.
And is this going to be your first child?
This is my second. My first one I couldn't keep because of the situation I was in. It was way worse than this.
Mhm.
So with things that have been going well for me out there, I wanted to keep this one.
Okay.
So this would technically to me be my first kid.
All right. So here's the thing. You got to make your life better for the baby. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
And everything that you do, you need to ask yourself, is this helping my child? Is this good for my child, what I'm about to do? And if the answer is no, then you got to fight it and not do it. All right. Anytime you're thinking about using, is this good for my child? And if it helps you to think of, if you're using drugs, if it helps you to think of your baby in their crib smoking a joint, and you say, oh, let a baby smoke a joint, that will be you. If you're using it, you're letting a baby smoke a joint. If you're using meth, if you're using cocaine, just think about a baby in a crib doing meth and cocaine, and you say to yourself, who would be giving a baby meth and cocaine? That will be you. So don't do it, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And if you feel like, I just can't stop it, it's going to happen, that's when you need to pick up the phone, go to an AA meeting or a sober support meeting and get help, and then come back and see me, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
All right, be careful.